a stroke of luck. I have a job for you, Hunter. I don't know if you know, but I make an ointment that's used by everyone in town. Thing is, when I went to gather the plants I need for it earlier today, every single one I found was withered and dead. It's likely because the kimono has settled in the place where I normally harvest what I need. I'm worried I won't be able to make any more ointment. And I'm worried that will worry everyone else. It's excellent for cuts and gashes, you see. People set quite some store by it. Without it, some wounds get very nasty. I was hoping you might hunt the kimono so the plants start growing again. You'd be doing the whole town a huge favor.
Going out touting for business again today? Looks like you're settling in nicely. Tucker, with you doing the work of 2 or 3 men, the only job left for me is keeping my sake cup filled. Oh, quick! Looks like it's over. That was another big one. Feels like they're getting stronger every day. It's making the bridge repairs on the old Blossom Trail impossible, apparently. Not that it matters to you with all your karakuri trickery. Ah, I nearly forgot. You should drop in on the Hime-sama later. Our steward was asking for you before.
Lots on offer today. Don't miss out.
Irasshai. Do you actually want anything, or you're just gonna stand there? You're in the way of other customers. If you want something, spit it out. I do good work, but I do it fast. If you want something, spit it out. What do you want? We done? Goodbye then.
I was hoping by studying your equipment, I've managed to develop some new weapons. I'm quite proud of them, actually. Give them a try. Sumimasen. Could I ask you to do a job for me? I've been getting so much work recently, and my stock of materials is starting to run low. It's good for business, but I can't possibly fulfill all these orders with what I have left. So I was hoping you could gather some more materials for me. Not as a favor, as a job, of course. I don't suppose this was a problem back when all the karakuri were working. If you could bring me what I need as soon as you have it, I'd be ever so grateful. I hope it goes well. Feel free to look in, Aza. Look at all these materials you've gathered for me. That's perfect. I'll be able to finish all my outstanding jobs now, and nobody will be disappointed. There are fewer and fewer members of the Guild of Artisans now. It's a headache for the whole town. But it means the rest of us just have to work harder to pick up the slack. Minato's future depends on it. Anyway, you've been a big help. Arigatou gozaimashita. I'm sure I'll have another job for you soon enough, if you don't mind. Just tell me what you need and I'll give it all my attention. Can't afford to neglect the equipment that affords you protection, can you? Can I be of service in any... All right. Let's see what I can do for you. Can I be of service in any... All right. Let's see what I can do for you. Whew.
You must be the hunter everyone in Minato is talking about lately. I'm Ruri. Pleased to meet you. I do trade up and down the whole country. Right now, there's something you might just be able to help me with. I've been asked to supply some Spring Watch monitor materials, you see. Lots of them, and as quickly as possible. There's only so much I can ask of my usual contacts, so... I was wondering if you'd be interested? I do some of it myself, but the truth is... well... never mind. Anyway, this is a really big order, so I'll make it worth your while. I hope you can help. Oh, you got the materials I was after. Arigatou gozaimasu. All right then, let's... Ah! Oh, I'm sorry. It's fine. I'm fine. Honestly. I'm not very good with kimono, to tell the truth. Everything about them makes my skin crawl. But so many people want kimono materials, and they go for such a good price. And I've got a lot of mouths to feed at home. So, yes, I'll just take these. And, hope to do business with you again sometime.
Oh yeah, いらっしゃい. Do come in. Look at you. The picture of health as always. Oh dear. Well, that just will not do. Why not spoil yourself and see if it brightens your mood? You spoil me with these fine kimono materials you sell. Could I perhaps spoil you in return with some wares at a fine price? You may examine anything in as much detail as you please before you decide. Do you have all you need now? Oh. You were teasing me, weren't you?
That one, is it?
Would you care to see me?
Ah, good. You are here. Your daily labors have not escaped my attention. You are a great asset to Minato. Ours is the only remaining settlement here in Azuma, once known for its fierce Bando warriors, who prevailed during the rule of the Ishido clan. With the demise of the Ishido governors, the region fell under the control of the Ago clan, but they see it as a worthless backwater. By appointing me as its steward, they neatly rid themselves of a great embarrassment to the clan. Their hope is that Minato and I both will simply vanish into obscurity. But arts and crafts made from kimono materials are still highly prized in the capital, though few are being made these days. Until your arrival, we had no hunters left capable of dealing with kimono as fearsome as the king tusk. Thanks to you, I sense the spirit of the town starting to revive. I am extremely grateful. Arigato. Speaking of the spirit of the town, you will have seen the windmill-like structure at the heart of Minato. The citizens call it the spirit wheel. I know nothing of the workings of Karakuri, so I have no idea how it could be made to turn again as I believe it once did. But it is my earnest wish to see it too, one day revived, turning proudly and purposefully above the town, as people prosper in the streets below. If only my hollow stewardship allowed me some small degree of influence. Forgive me, I digress. I summoned you to ask for your help. The capital is crying out for new handicrafts. With your skills at our disposal, I believe we may be able to oblige. They will require materials that can only be obtained from the Tsunobashiri, a glider kimono found on Natsugodachi Isle. I request that you hunt one. For some time, the hunters here have taken no prey beyond the Harigasumi Way, and the materials are all delivered to Suzuran-sensei for her studies. You may reach the isle by boat. Speak with the head of the Guild of Fishermen, Tsumori Nobumitsu.
I do apologize for asking so much of you, but this hunt would prove most valuable to the town. There is no great urgency, however. I understand you have many demands on your time. So many citizens are clamoring for your skills. It is my earnest wish that you oblige them also. In doing so, you afford Minato great strength.
Apparently.
Yep.
Oh! Over here! Alright. Looks like it's time to ship out at last. You took your time. I nearly nodded off. Especially with this beautiful weather we're having. So how are things? I'm no hunter, but I bet it gives you a real sense of purpose, doesn't it? Really? That's great. So, you need passage to the Spirit Isle, do you? Believe me, you don't want to go there unprepared. That's where the big fish are, if you know what I mean. The kimono on the isle are a lot tougher than the ones you've been hunting along the old Blossom Trail. I think the spine glider inhabits the south side of the island, but I don't know exactly where you find it. In days gone by, hunters had karakuri that helped them find their prey. Without something like that, you'll just have to trawl around for it the old-fashioned way, and hope you don't net something you can't handle. I don't know. Maybe you're ready for anything. But it wouldn't hurt to check over your weapons and armor before we leave. If you're worried, pay Natsume a visit. She'll sort you out with some great equipment, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, one other thing. You know the Guild of Fishermen handles everything to do with shipping? Trade as well as fishing. Well, we quite often run into trouble that could use a good hunter like yourself. So if you're ever short of work, just give me a shout. Of course we would reward you for your efforts.
you alright, Ji-san? Do you need another rest?
It wasn't like this when the karakuri were working. It was a breeze to get up to the top back then.
Ah, you hunted a tsunobashiri for us, did you? Those spine gliders are tough. We owe you one. Arigato. You're clearly well able to do your job then. But how are you holding up? No strange sensations? Excellent. That's good to hear. You must tell me at once if you notice anything out of the ordinary. Having a karakuri implanted in your body may have consequences you're not expecting. The seed is a very old karakuri, the crystallization of wisdom amassed by the ancient hunters. It will make a deep physiological and mental connection with you. It allows its host to conjure and control karakuri, to influence the ki that flows through the entire natural world, in fact. Until now, I honestly believed it was a fairy tale. I certainly never imagined that I'd see it with my own eyes. Side effects? Well, there are certainly pitfalls. Firstly, I don't believe you can manipulate karakuri wherever and whenever you like. You've experienced that already, of course. You haven't been able to make use of karakuri here in Minato, for example, have you? Secondly, although the seed is said to contain the ingredients for a plethora of karakuri, it would appear you can't conjure them all whenever you like. I imagine there has to be some sort of trigger to stimulate the requisite memory. Given that it's a hunter's device, it seems reasonable to assume that those triggers will occur in the course of hunting activities. And thirdly, I dare say this is the most pertinent of the pitfalls from your perspective. The seed is deeply embedded in your heart. So deeply that one can no longer function without the other. What I'm trying to say is that if that tiny karakuri were to break, you would die. Now, it's not especially fragile, so there's no need to panic, but still, I would treat it with due care. Good. Yes, before you go, there's one last thing. There's a small task I'd like you to undertake. Or rather, the town elders have decided it should be done. It may even result in the first pitfall that I mentioned before being rendered moot. I think it would be quicker to show you rather than trying to explain further. Would you accompany me to the Spirit Isle? We can leave whenever you're ready. And Natsume will be coming along too. So, a trip to the island. A boat trip. Unavoidable, I suppose. Oh, sorry. I'm talking to myself. As soon as you're ready, we'll set off together. I forgot how much I hate boats.
Are you alright, Sensei? You did say you'd explain what we're doing here when we'd arrived.
I'll be fine. So, there is an old ruin on the island here, where the natural flow of ki has stagnated. I need you to clear the blockage. I think... You said you tried it before, didn't you? In the Nanohana field along the old Blossom Trail.
I think you told me you broke the stagnant crust and that made your karakuri work?
I'd like you to do the same thing here. I learned that a particular material is required for the job, and through meticulous research, I've managed to ascertain which kemono to hunt to obtain it. It's a kemono called Jigokuzaru, or lava back.
As far as we know, it's lived on this island since ancient times. Apparently, Minato's hunters have never been a match for it.
Your confidence is reassuring, but I don't want you taking any unnecessary risks. If it seems too much for you, return to Minato and reconsider your approach.
I hear that the lava back lives on the north side, but there are other kemono on the island too. Perhaps hunting some of those first would be a good plan. Then I can make you stronger equipment with the materials.
Let's hope this really does help Minato flourish again.
Sensei?
Sorry, I was muttering to myself. Oh yes, I nearly forgot. I've taken the liberty of adding a rather special karakuri to your gauntlet. I have a matching one, and together they'll allow us to communicate when we're too far away to speak to each other. It'll all become clear once you use it. We'll contact you in a little while, so don't be surprised if you suddenly hear our voices. Hello? Can you hear us? Ah, good. It seems to be functioning well.
すごい! It really works! Let me see that!
Hands off, Natsume. I know you. You'll pull it apart.
But I always try to put things back together again.
Now, we'll help as best we can via this karakuri.
I'll just leave this here.
This should do it. Yup. Yup. Yup.
Well, well. Again we meet. It seems you have a knack for cheating death. As a hunter, I see you have grown. The fire in your eyes burns stronger now. Fitting that our paths cross here, in the sacred land of the ancient hunters. Traces of their aspirations remain, both within you and without. Once it was so that hunters were born here, raised here, and would die on this soil. But in time, they expanded their horizons, crossing the sea to Azuma. But that migration was only possible with the power of Karakuri. With the knowledge and technology possessed only by those hunters of old. Sadly, all that was no longer is. The haven the hunters built for themselves in Azuma was washed away by the rain of 1,000 days. A great flood that covered all the land. What few hunters survived dispersed northward or westward, taking with them what little knowledge remained of Karakuri. All that was left behind crystallized to become the seed. So you see, all that was left behind now exists within you. You need only hunt, and trust that in so doing, the seed will soon grow.
Over there, look! Oi!
Sorry to keep you. Your successful defeat of the kimono means we can proceed with the... Oh, what's wrong? Are you sure? You look like you've just seen a ghost. Anyway, never mind. Let's get on with the plan. You remember we discussed how you're enabled to conjure and command Karakuri anywhere you like? Well, the reason for that is intimately tied to a form of energy known as celestial thread. Think about when you create Karakuri out of nothing. Tendril-like phenomena appear, don't they? That is celestial thread. It's the motive force behind all Karakuri. If there isn't enough of it, Karakuri can't operate. The larger and more complex the Karakuri, the more celestial thread is required to power it. You've probably noticed already as you've been walking around that these ruins appear to be some kind of giant Karakuri. We can only imagine that at one time it was functioning as intended until, for some reason, the celestial thread here dried up and it ground to a halt.
For some reason. Due to stagnation of ki in the ground, perhaps?
Precisely. Ki and celestial thread are essentially the same thing. The ki here is not flowing. Fix that, and these ruins should come alive. Legend tells that this place is actually an elaborate machine used to divert celestial thread to another location. And I'm sure by now you can deduce what location that is. Yes! Minato! Which means that if we're successful here, all the Karakuri that have been gathering dust in Minato until now should suddenly spring to life!
I was starting to think I'd never see them working again. It's been so long.
What we're trying to achieve here is crucial to the survival of the town. The influence of the kimono is growing all the time, and we have no way to defend ourselves. Sooner or later, we'll be forced to abandon Minato. So after many long discussions among the elders, they decided we should work towards restoring the town's karakuri to give us the means to fight back. Which is why your task here is to use your skills to wake up this ancient place.
Oh, Minato's karakuri working again. I just can't imagine it.
It's exciting, isn't it? I have memories from my early childhood when they were still working.
The wall is opening up.
And look at the celestial thread weaving its way. Oh, this I have to study.
So, we did it!
Yes, we did! A great success! You played your part perfectly. Thank you so much. Now, let us hurry back to Minato and see the transformation.
Yes. I can't wait to see what's happening around town. Let's go!